The team at Spiff has been working with MSP for some time now. I actually first met some of the founding team over falafel in Salt Lake City. But I'm excited to have Tanner here. He's on the founding team at Spiff to share with us a little bit more about Spiff. Tanner, welcome.
Quick introduction of myself, briefly, Tanner Lacey, co-founder here at Spiff. I've been here for going on 3 years now, so since the beginning. And so I've had lots of different roles. Currently, they call me Director of Business Development. I've been the janitor. I ran payroll. So I've done kind of the whole gamut here, but have loved working with Rich and the team. So today, a couple things. First off, just real quick, what's Spiff? Spiff is a commission automation platform, sales performance management platform. We hook right into your systems and then automate the variable compensation from there. So we're helping finance teams automate the commissions process, so it's not near as time consuming. We're helping open doors for strategy as far as how you want to commission people, and then we're also giving your reps or any commissionable employees real-time dashboards to see what their comp is, to help it be motivating and to decrease those disputes. So importantly though, here past that kind of is our presentation today. What we wanted to go over was we've been working alongside MSP here for the last little bit around a survey, and the survey is what's happening with sales compensation. As I know all of us here are super aware, the climate's changed, right? So things have changed. And the way that we comp has changed. Unfortunately, for some, it's been for the worse. And for some, it's actually been for the better. So what we wanted to do here was put a shameless plug to ask everyone to take that survey. I'm sure you've seen it in your inbox. I'm sure Rich and Hannah and the amazing team at MSP will probably hit you up again about taking it. But I wanted to give a sneak peek to some of the data that we've collected in here, and also kind of match that with some of the benchmarking data that we actually collect inside Spiff and make public to our customers as far as what compensation goes. So I want to talk about first what we're seeing happen to goals and expectations over time, what the responses have been to the crisis as far as comp goes, benchmarking data that we're seeing around like what the actual payouts are looking like for your AEs, and then kind of looking forward some thoughts of things that we're hearing kind of through the grapevine of how the industry is feeling. Goal here is just to give you guys some great data, and so hopefully this can be interesting and potentially useful for you as you continue to plan. So first one, and this is to me probably the most interesting thing I'm going to share with you, is the goals and expectations over time. So one of the questions that we had was basically, hey, pre-COVID, what percentage of your reps did you expect to hit goals? Post-COVID, now what do you think? Or not post, I guess we're not through it yet. But now that COVID's happened, what do we expect? And it was really interesting, the change. And I think probably what most of you would think. But previously here, about 20% thought that 50 to 60%, this is pre-COVID, 50 to 60% would hit. 20% thought 60 to 70%. But really there was 31% thought that 70 to 80% of their reps. And when I say reps, I'm being very bland there. It could be SDRs, AEs, kind of the whole commissionable crew there, that were they expected to hit goals, hit quota. And the median for that was 64% from what we've seen so far. On the flip side now, you're seeing a huge jump. So first off, you're seeing that 31% think that less than 25% of their employees are going to hit those goals. The 31% again of those are going to be between 25 to 50%. And it's down to 50%, it's not 50%, that 9% are at that 70 to 80% range. Really, really interesting kind of change in events there as far as what we're seeing as goals. So the next question was, let me click here. The next question here was kind of like what changes are being made. This was this one I think gave you an option for a free response, but for most part, I do think it kind of, you'll notice and see which ones are free responses here by the number, or they're all one. But it was really interesting to see that not too many people actually really made that change. I mean, a good chunk reduced quotas. Some people actually increased quotas. But for the most part, you're seeing about 36 people, if you combine these top two right here, that are 36% of this group that didn't change anything as far as quotas. Some people reduced quotas, and you'll kind of see it. And I'll share these slides as well with anyone who wants them. You can kind of see what's happening here, or how people have responded. And then on the flip side here, this one was a qualitative question. I'll just read through a few of these, but basically a really good mix of how people are responding. Dispersing payments over time, reducing quotas and increasing commission rates to try to keep their reps, basically kind of scrapping comp plans and making it very, very fluid is what we're seeing as well. But then you'll see other things like number 7, business went up 500% for this customer or for this respondent. So really, really interesting data to see that unfortunately where it has impacted others in a negative way, there has even been some positive impact. Again, we're seeing a big difference in what people are thinking of as far as goals. And overall here and on this next slide, this is actually data coming from Spiff. So inside Spiff, we have a tool called Insights. And what Insights does is it takes an automated aggregate data set and then builds percentiles off of it or deciles off of it. So what this is, this purple line right here is actually our demo system that we have built to be right at about the 50th percentile that our reps are using today to demo this tool. But what you're seeing is in January, the average, and this is AEs, by the way, the average AE of kind of your mid-market company, which is our target mid-market SMB customer, is kind of our target. It was anywhere between like the top percentile was like 65, 7,000. And the lowest was going, down to 0, obviously, but sub $2,000 in gross commissions. In January, you'll see pretty consistently this dip right here. So you've actually seen it get back up. It's not quite there yet, but it's interesting to see that it's climbing, which kind of leads me into this next topic, right? And I know I'm coming here close to time. Let me check. Got a few minutes left. But looking forward, so we talk with people all day. I know more about commissions than I think I ever wanted to know at this point in my life. But it's something that I talk about a lot. I'm pretty involved in a lot of our sales conversations still, especially with our bigger prospects. And this is something that we could talk about a lot, especially as we're building rapport with these people. The thing is, one, there's a lot of uncertainty that we're still seeing around a second wave and how that's going to affect them. What we're hearing people are going to do is, one, most people have already made the adjustments and they're planning on sticking with those. Because you kind of are seeing, whether it's normalizing or it's just becoming normal, right? The change in the economy, people are adapting. Business seems to be picking back up for the majority, depending on the industry that you're in. So people are a little bit more confident with what the rest of the year looks like as far as planning goes. Other industries are still kind of in crisis mode. So unfortunately, we don't talk with too many of those because a lot of budgets have been frozen, but we do have current customers who are in that rate and they're constantly changing their comp plans still to try to make up for just trying to survive and make sure they can keep their top performers while also keeping their bottom line healthy enough. And I think the biggest thing that's been interesting is I think overall the majority of the people we talk to when we're talking about how are you thinking about sales compensation going forward is that the economy has changed and they just kind of changed with it. There's a lot of focus less. We're seeing a lot of things change on SDR outreach from being quite as much. And I'd actually would love to talk with the Sales Loft group about this to get a better understanding holistically. But we're seeing a lot of our customers are lowering the amount of touches that they need, but expecting higher amounts of touches and higher quality touches. The messaging has changed a lot from what we've seen on how they're managing those teams, but also AEs quotas have changed. The way that they built these comp plans has changed. They've also, if they're holding payout at payment versus booking, those things have changed as well. So cool. Interesting things are happening. Again, we're going to have a lot more data that we're sending out on this. If you do take that survey, you'll be on that distribution list for us to get that to you. So we'd love to have everyone here. I'll make sure that everyone gets a link. I'll drop it in the Spiff Slack channel inside the sponsor link or the sponsor Slack, so that everyone there can take it if they'd like. We'd love to get your feedback on this, and then you can also benefit from the information. I'll also make sure that I make this available in our Slack channel. So thanks again so much, and thanks so much to Rich and the MSP team for letting us be here today. Here's my contact information. I'll also drop my LinkedIn. Would love to connect with anyone and then continue on the conversation. I love talking about this, and would love to get your thoughts on it too.